Maha, here at the CADFAM conference in Munich, you gave a talk about simulation close to reality. Could you please summarize what was the talk about?
Before I answer your question, I would like to thank you for hosting me today. It was really an honor for me to meet you and meet all the CADFAM team. And the conference organization was amazing. We were able to learn new things, enhance our know-how, and meet experts from renewed company, and we exchange data and information. Thank you. And regarding your question, with year-on-year increase of signal technology like PCI, EFS, Ethernet, and so on, the design complexity and the cost associated with their design and the validation process have also escalated, requiring much more sophisticated tools and methods to ensure reliable design and compliance to the requirements. For that, the simulation plays a very important role during the design for high-speed signal interfaces. The big question now, how we can simulate close to the reality? For that, during my presentation today, I discussed how we can transform our ideal setup to a realistic approach by adding the main effect like power, jitter, power supply model, PCB characteristic like roughness and etching, when we need to use HFSS 3D layout, SE-Wave or SE-Wave region. We are a expert team over the globe in Mexico, USA, Romania, and China.
When you started with simulation in Harman, how did you initially approach and organize this task?
6 years ago, when I joined Harman, I noticed that the simulation workload was quite high. By recognizing this challenge, I started thinking how I can be much more effective to the team. And I realized joining the simulation team can help me to leverage my skills and help reduce and alleviate some of the burden. So I approached my superior. I request him to, if the possibility of joining the simulation team, they motivate my initiative and they supported my move. After that, I got the needed training from CADFAM and these Harman experts. And when I got the basic training, I started to be involved in different simulation tasks within Harman globally. When I'm getting simulation requests, normally this is the main step that I'm following. After I'm getting the request simulation from the requester, I'm defining with him the goal of our simulation, if it's Q, I-diagram, crosstalk, and so on. After that, I'm requesting the documents and file needed for my simulation, like datasheets, ODB++, StackUp, requirements, models. The next step, I'm making sure that those models are supported by ANSYS and working properly. And I'm verifying, organizing the requirements, the PCB, and so on. And before starting building my setup, and making a visual take of our PCB to identify any issue that can be solved first. After that, I'm extracting the S parameter of our PCB. Here, ANSYS is providing three main tools: SE-Wave, HFSS 3D layout, and SE-Wave 3D region. The way that I'm choosing the tool based on the system complexity, the speed for the simulated interface, and the time budget that I'm having. Because since the HFSS 3D layout is taking too much time compared to SE-Wave, just an example. After extracting the S parameter, I'm moving to building my setup in electronic desktop by cascading the models from the driver to the receiver. I'm simulating my setup, gathering the results, analyzing them, and making documentation to share it with stakeholders and for future reference. After that, I'm organizing a meeting with project leader and Harman experts to analyze the results and decide if any resimulation or redesign is needed. In the end, after we built in our prototype, I'm comparing the measurements with the simulation result to see if any improvement is needed with my setup.
Well, what was a specific challenge in this project?
Working on Harman every day with a new challenge. That's why making the job is really excited. But the big challenge that I want to talk with here, one of our suppliers say, with this speed, we are not able to support you with measurements anymore. And more than that, the design of Harman became much more complex. We are designing with high-speed interfaces like PCI, Gen 5, UFS, and so on. So we start thinking how we can improve our design and transform it from ideal to a realistic approach. What is missing in our puzzle? After many researches and analysis, discussion with you, Frank, and this team, Harman, and our supplier, the main part of our puzzle starts being identified, and we simulate one by one, and we evaluate the performance for each effect, like power, jitter, and so on. And in the end, we got amazing results. The comparison between our measurements and the simulation, it's more than 90% of similarity, and it was really fantastic. And I don't want to forget two main helps that I really received during this journey from our supplier, Samsung. They support us by giving us the jitter information model for power supply, and of course, you, Frank, and ANSYS team, you helped me to overcome any problem or issue during the design phase and making this setup. Thank you, Frank, from this stage.
Great. Well, what are the benefits for Harman?
I can say the benefit now that we can react to our simulation setup. We are confident that the results are similar to the measurement results. We gain the trust of our customer by presenting them the comparison between simulation and measurement results. And of course, we establish a great collaboration between our SoC supplier, CADFAM, and ANSYS.
How many simulations do you have to perform for such a project, and do you use any specific hardware for this?
Yes, for this specific project, it took 2 years with 1 year of preparation. The simulation took 80% of my daily load. For much more accuracy, I use HFSS 3D layouts, and for that, I need a cluster. CADFAM is providing large portfolio for cluster and powerful machine. We benefit from their offering. They help us to decide which cluster is fit for our need. They support us during the installation, the configuration for it, and they give us the needed help to use it and in proper way. Frank, I would like also to ask you, what is CADFAM future plan regarding RF simulation, signal integrity simulation, and so on? How you decide your vision in the future?
Well, this market of signal power integrity, also EMC, is a growing business for us, and we want to gain more expertise in this field and become a big player in the market in the future here. And we are working on it with our team and give our best to support our customers and learn together with the customer what are the future needs of simulation software in this field, electronic simulation, and do also some integration, for instance, with a consultancy project to do customizing for customers. Perhaps when you want to apply Pi AEDT for your workflow, yes, we can support you with a consultancy project. I think that's the future we have here at CADFAM.
Fantastic.
Well, Mara, thank you very much for attending the conference, giving this brilliant talk today, and also for giving us an interview here. And hopefully we meet again at the next conference.
Thank you so much, Frank. It was a really pleasure, and I'm happy to be with you here, and all the colleagues and team from CADFAM, ANSYS, and so on. Thank you so much.